What the future remembers. Iria Holt moves through the towering chrome corridors of the Central Archive, her hands hovering over holographic displays. Each memory she touches vibrates in her mind, echoing lives long gone, wars remembered only by stored consciousness. She's efficient, meticulous, feared for her ability to extract truth from the chaos of history. But every extraction chips away at her own sense of self. Night after night, she drifts through memories that are not her own, leaving her detached from reality, her small apartment a sterile shell. That evening, she discovers a fragment unlike any other, a vivid memory of a city burning, a young engineer fighting amidst chaos, a strange intensity in his eyes. Something about the memory pulls at her, a resonance she cannot explain. When she touches the fragment again, her surroundings warp. She feels herself pulled into the memory. She's not observing anymore, she's inside, breathing the smoke, feeling the heat, tasting fear and courage simultaneously. As Iria collapses into the past, she realizes this is more than a stored memory. Somewhere is reaching out across time. Her heart races, mind worry with questions. Who is he? Why is this memory alive? And what dangers await her if she crosses the boundary fully? Iria gripping the edges of the memory portal, trembling, unsure if stepping through will be a journey or her undoing. Iria awakens in a city she only knew from archives. Centuries before her time, streets are crowded with civilians unaware of her arrival, the air thick with smoke and the scent of burning metal. Panic surges, but curiosity compels her forward. She navigates alleyways, every corner revealing a city caught between resilience and decay. A society balancing survival and fear. Suddenly, Calder appears a young engineer she recognizes from the memory fragment. He is calculating, tense, yet instinctively protective, his eyes scanning her as if he knows she doesn't belong. She tries to communicate, but he assumes she's a spy from rival forces. Iria must convince him of her identity without revealing the truth. She's from the future, a silent observer until now, and the very fabric of time has already begun to bend around them. Their interaction is tense, full of missteps and mistrust. Iria studies him, fascinated by the combination of intelligence, bravery, and vulnerability he exhibits even under pressure. She senses a connection, unexplainable, pulling her toward him emotionally despite the centuries that separate them. As they escape a sudden attack in the city, they discover their fates are intertwined, and every decision they make could ripple forward into the future. Iria hiding in the shadows, her pulse pounding, realizing she cannot return home as she thought. Time itself has become a battlefield, and she must choose whether to embrace it or risk being lost forever. Iria and Calder navigate the burning streets, their every step measured, each shadow a potential threat. As they duck into an abandoned workshop, Iria studies him more closely. He is methodical, calculating every action, yet there's a subtle tremor in his handsphere, mixed with responsibility. She senses the burden he carries, not just survival, but the lives of countless civilians depending on him to make impossible choices. Iria realizes she can use her knowledge of the future to guide him but must tread carefully. Even the smallest intervention could fracture the timeline. As Calder works to repair a sabotaged generator powering the city's defenses, she points out flaws he hasn't noticed, framing it as intuition. The trust between them begins to grow, tenuous but real. Suddenly, alarms blare. A fleet of mechanized enforcers known to her recordsters upon the city. Calder instinctively shields Iria, moving with agility and courage she can barely keep up with. She's forced to act on instinct, improvising solutions she never imagined she'd need, moving debris, redirecting energy, creating diversions. Adrenaline courses through her veins. Fear and exhilaration blend into a strange clarity. They survive the attack, but the city lies in partial ruin, and Iria senses that every action, every choice, is now being watched by forces that transcend time itself. The stakes are no longer survival alone. They are the survival of reality as she knows it. Iria and Calder retreat to a hidden bunker beneath the city, a safe space for now, but the weight of distrust lingers. Calder is tense, his eyes flicking to every corner, calculating exits, assessing the bunker's defenses. Iria studies him, noting the layers of control he maintains to protect others while barely protecting himself. She begins to understand the complexity of leadership under unimaginable pressure. Their conversation turns personal. Calder asks questions Iria cannot fully answer, testing her story, probing for deception. Iria struggles, her knowledge of the future dangerous, her emotions tangled. Every glance at him reminds her of the pull she feels toward him, an impossible connection across centuries. Yet she fears what revealing the truth could do, not just to him, but to the fragile web of time itself. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges. A rival faction aware of Calder's presence seeks to capture him and harness his engineering genius for their war machines. But Iria realizes that even here, safety is temporary and alliances are fragile. She and Calder must negotiate with other city leaders, forming a coalition of necessity rather than trust. Tension mounting, alliances teetering, and Iria staring at the blinking light of the bunker's surveillance systems. Aware that the next decision could cost lives or erase entire possibilities, she knows she must act decisively, even if it means risking her heart and the timeline itself. Iria and Calder arrive at the council chambers of the fractured city. Leaders from rival districts glare at each other, murmuring threats, while guards clutch weapons nervously. Every face tells a story of past betrayals, and Iria senses that any misstep could ignite an all-out conflict. She quietly observes, analyzing patterns of influence and fear. Calder steps forward, advocating for a united defense against the encroaching mechanized enforcers. His logic is precise, but his tone is measured, balancing authority and diplomacy. Iria notices subtle signs of resistance. A faction openly defiant, a whispered conspiracy. Her knowledge of potential outcomes urges her to intervene, but she restrains herself, carefully choosing words that steer conversations without revealing too much. Amid the tension, Iria glimpses an old mentor from her past life, now aligned with the rival faction. The sight shocks her. It's a reminder that time is fluid and every decision ripples outward. She and Calder navigate delicate negotiations through quiet persuasion, subtle threats, and strategic concessions. Small victories are won. Two factions agree to share resources temporarily, while another remains suspicious, awaiting the slightest provocation. Iria detects signs of an infiltration. Someone within the council plans to sabotage the coalition from within. As she whispers warnings to Calder, a hidden doorway creaks open, revealing shadowed figures armed and determined. Trust is tenuous, and the city's fragile unity teeters on the edge of collapse. Night falls across the city, and Iria struggles to sleep amid the constant hum of distant engines. Calder remains vigilant, patrolling rooftops while the council sleeps, but the tension between them simmers unresolved. Iria knows she must act before the infiltrators strike, but moving too early could expose her knowledge and compromise Calder's trust. Suddenly, alarms blare. The sabotage begins. Explosions tear through the supply lines. Fires erupt across strategic districts. Iria races to warn Calder, navigating burning alleys and collapsing rooftops. The city becomes a labyrinth of smoke, heat, and chaos. She feels the weight of every choice pressing against her chest, every decision a knife edge between survival and catastrophe. Calder mobilizes forces, his precision and leadership amplified by desperation. Iria uses her ingenuity, predicting enemy movements and creating diversions to protect civilians. Together, they fight side by side, their coordination growing, trust hardening in the heat of danger. They rescue trapped citizens, extinguish flames, and capture infiltrators, but not without cost. A close ally falls, and the betrayal leaves lingering doubt in Calder's eyes. The city is battered, but intact. Iria reflects on the duality of human nature. Loyalty and treachery exists in the same heartbeat. She realizes that rebuilding the city's strength is not just about strategy, but inspiring courage in people who have lost everything. Calder looks at her with newfound respect, though neither speaks of the deeper emotions stirring between them. The city rebuilds slowly, but tensions remain high. Iria and Calder grow closer, yet a silent barrier persists, the knowledge of future events and personal guilt. They train together, practice defenses, and coordinate civilian rebuilding efforts. Each interaction layered with unspoken questions and tentative vulnerability. Iria notices Calder's late-night wanderings, restless and haunted by past failures. She follows, discovering memories he carries like scars, visions of families lost, streets burned, and promises broken. She gently confronts him, offering insight without revealing too much, and he begins to open in small, fragile ways. Their conversations, once tactical, now touch on hope, regret, and the faint yearning for something beyond survival. Meanwhile, political intrigue simmers. A faction dissatisfied with Calder's leadership spreads rumors, questioning his loyalty and competence. Iria steps into a delicate role: mediator, strategist, and confidant. She encourages Calder to confront his detractors without resorting to violence, emphasizing unity over pride. Romantic tension crescendos in subtle gestures, shared meals, lingering touches, and quiet acknowledgements of fear and admiration. Neither admits their growing feelings outright, but both feel the pull. An intimate moment, under the quiet glow of the city lights, they share their first unguarded conversation, revealing fears and aspirations, unaware that a looming external threat is drawing ever closer. The enemy returns, larger and more organized. Iria's earlier predictions prove correct. Mechanized enforcers and mercenary factions converge on the city simultaneously. Smoke curls into the night as sirens wail and the ground shakes beneath the chaos. Calder takes command of defense, positioning civilians, barricades, and allied forces. Iria coordinates intelligence and small tactical teams, moving like a shadow between units. She anticipates enemy maneuvers, setting traps and guiding Calder's decisions. The city becomes a chessboard of survival, each move fraught with life and death stakes. Civilians look to them for guidance, and Iria feels the immense responsibility settle onto her shoulders. Amid the chaos, Calder faces a personal trial. A mercenary ambush threatens the very core of their command. Iria acts decisively, risking herself to protect him, solidifying their trust and connection. The battle rages, with sacrifices and courage displayed by citizens, allies, and the duo themselves. Explosions, collapsing structures, and the roar of engines punctuate the tense narrative. The enemy is repelled, but the cost is high. Districts lie in ruin, civilians injured, and the moral toll weighs heavily. Iria and Calder share a quiet, exhausted moment, understanding the stakes of leadership, love, and resilience. On a cliffhanger, intelligence reveals that the mastermind behind the assault remains hidden and the next strike could be catastrophic. Iria uncovers evidence pointing to the true orchestrator of the attacks, a brilliant, enigmatic strategist from a neighboring city with a personal vendetta against Calder and the citizens under his protection. The revelation shocks Calder, challenging his confidence and sense of control. The city's council convenes an emergency meeting. Iria advocates for a daring plan: lure the mastermind into a controlled confrontation while safeguarding civilians. Calder hesitates, fearing loss and public backlash. Their debate underscores their growing partnership, tested yet unshakable. Iria's insights begin to influence strategic decisions more openly, highlighting her growth from observer to key tactician. Tensions rise further as factions within the council question the plan's feasibility, fearing exposure to enemy spies. Iria and Calder must navigate internal politics while preparing for external conflict. Personal stakes intensify: Calder's safety, the city's survival, and their evolving emotional bond collide. The mastermind strikes first, sending sabotage teams into critical infrastructure. Iria anticipates the move, redirecting resources and thwarting the assault, but at significant personal cost. A trusted ally is captured. On a tense note, the mastermind's presence is confirmed in the city itself. And Iria and Calder realize they face not just physical danger, but the unraveling of trust, morale, and control. The city braces for the final confrontation. Iria and Calder coordinate evacuation, defense, and intelligence, blending strategy and improvisation. Civilians move under calculated guidance, while fighters take positions along key points. Every decision is critical. Failure means devastation. Iria and Calder locate the mastermind in the city's central tower, a location fortified with traps and loyal mercenaries. The final battle begins. Coordinated assaults, clever diversions, and high-risk maneuvers. Iria uses her foresight strategically, guiding Calder through near-fatal encounters. Both face personal challenges, trust, fear, and the weight of the lives depending on them. The mastermind confronts them directly, revealing motivations and personal vendettas. Aria's insight, courage, and quick thinking turn the tide. She exploits overconfidence, uses psychological strategies, and adapts tactics in real time. Calder supports her, relying on experience, precision, and raw determination. Their synergy becomes unstoppable. The mastermind is defeated, captured, and the city saved. The conflict leaves physical and emotional scars, yet Iria and Calder emerge transformed. Trust, courage, and partnership define their bond. The city begins to rebuild, stronger and united. Iria reflects on the journey. Survival was never enough. The true victory is resilience, growth, and connection. The season closes with Iria and Calder overlooking the city at dawn. A sense of hope, tempered with vigilance, as new challenges await on the horizon. Their story is not finished, has only evolved.
If this story made you pause for a moment, subscribe for more stories that matter.